Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the show. Weekends here. Unless you don't do weekends, then I guess it's another day. If you're like my buddy Joe, Joe's weekend started yesterday. I love it. Welcome to Cooperville Live. Thank you for hanging out with us today. It's a big day. It's a big show. The man who mastered awesomeness fresh out the womb, the one and only Gregg Cash, is on the show. Gregg's played in a ton of phenomenal bands. New band he's a part of right now, The Lungs, got new music out. We'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about a whole bunch of stuff today. It's going to be epic. Again, big shout out to my friends Blake Allison and Joey Walzer from Devour the Day, Egypt Central. I saw they got new Devour the Day music coming. They're teasing it. They're teasing us with new music. Come on, fellas. Give it up. Those are the guys that put together this fantastic intro, beat bed, jams, all this stuff. So thank you to them. I appreciate it. Wherever you are watching, join in the comments. Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. It's twitch.tv/NoLimitCooper. Cooperville on YouTube and the Welcome to Cooperville page on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, being part of the show. You can also join our Patreon. That link is in all the comment sections of all the platforms I just mentioned. So join the revolution, as it so accurately states. Great stuff coming up for our patrons. C-Dubs dropping Pokemon remake coming out soon. I like it. You know what I know about Pokemon? Nothing. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Pikachu. That's what I got. But I'm into whatever you are into. Live on Twitch. Thank you for the update, Twitch. But yeah, join the Patreon. Going to have all the audio from all the shows going on to our Patreon. We just started doing some cool video clips. If you follow the show on Instagram, you saw some of that. Doing some short videos. Going to be doing some more of that kind of stuff for our patrons. So join our Patreon, 3 different levels, and you can be a part of a whole bunch of cool stuff that we have going on the show. Cool stuff. It's Friday, by the way, so there you go. Let's get it started. Some of that good latte stuff. Lots to get to today. Again, Gregg Cash going to be joining us in about 50 minutes. He's coming up just before 6 o'clock here locally. He is out on the West Coast, so it'll be like mid-afternoon for him. Pretty exciting. Joe's in the house. I was waiting for you, Joe. Joe's weekend started yesterday, so I hope you're still celebrating right along with us. I am hopeful. Oh, lots to get to today. Lots of alien talk. I like alien talk. Aliens and weird stuff going on, man. Aliens and weird stuff. We'll start with the Baker Mayfield claim. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And you know what? Not to get totally sidetracked. I know that happens a lot on this show, but backs out, Joe. That sucks. You need a cooler next to you. Know what I'm saying? Keep that thing on ice. Mom's here. Hi, Mom. Mom, you can't be drinking wine. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, you know what? You can. Do it. Why not? I say yes. I'm an advocate. But anyway, so Baker Mayfield, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And before I get to the story, I was just realizing this as I see a picture of him about this story. We had Blake Davenport on the show the other day, and I was like, somebody, he reminds me, dude looks like Baker Mayfield. And he's from Ohio, even though he's closer to Cincinnati, more of a Bengals fan. But I was like, dude, it dawned on me like today. Like, oh, could have brought that up. Like, has anybody ever told you that you look like Baker Mayfield? Play it up. Anyway, this comes from ESPN, though it's been all over all of the news outlets. Add Baker Mayfield to the list of believers who claim they have seen a UFO. Of course, we talked about the American Airlines story, which they reference in here about the unidentified flying object in the skies over Arizona. December 29th, a blue UFO reportedly was seen over Hawaii. And last year, of course, and we've talked about all this stuff that ESPN is now just filling their readers in on, about the Pentagon releasing that declassified footage shot by the naval pilot that shows what they call an unexplained aerial phenomena, a UAP. So this tweet comes from Baker Mayfield himself. He says, almost 100% M and I just saw a UFO drop straight out of the sky on our way home from dinner. We stopped and looked at each other and asked if either of us saw it. A very bright ball of light going straight down out of the sky towards Lake Travis. Did anybody else witness this? So Baker Mayfield, and I'm guessing M, I think M is his wife, claims that they were on the way home from dinner and saw a unidentified flying object coming out of the sky. Whoa. So, of course, the sports world reacts. This is from the Bleacher Report. Fox Sports personality Colin Cowherd doesn't think elite NFL quarterbacks should talk about UFOs, which means he might not consider Tom Brady one of the best players of all time anymore. Cowherd dedicated a part of his show mocking a tweet by Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, which we just talked about, a post saying that him and his wife saw a UFO over Lake Travis in Austin, Texas on Wednesday night. Colin Cowherd tweets, so Baker Mayfield saw a UFO. Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, and Tom Brady have never seen aliens, and I would prefer my guys don't talk about it. That's what Colin Cowherd said. Luckily, Tom Brady fired back. TB12 fired back, saying, at Colin Cowherd, how do you know I've never seen aliens, Colin? To which Colin replied, a touche, Tom Brady. Touche at Tom Brady. So, who knows? So Tom Brady is not in denial of the fact that he has maybe seen aliens or a UFO. To be clear, though, Mayfield didn't say he saw aliens. He said he saw an unidentified flying object. Okay. They're out there. I'm telling you. Just studying all of our weirdness. Studying all the weirdness. I believe him. I believe him. Why not? But I don't think there should be a case like who's still in alien denial? Are you guys still in alien denial? Like, no, they don't exist. We're the center of the universe. Okay. I'm not buying it. They're out there. There's more. There's so much. There's so much in space to believe that we're the only ones. We're the only creatures that could possibly look around. There was another story from Express that NASA could be looking for alien life by searching for pollution in exoplanet atmospheres. So they're trying to see if other aliens have fucked up their planet, just like we are. Yeah. Joe says they are real. Been to Walmart lately? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe. See, I think they'd be a little more like, I think they want to make a show. I guess that would classify. Walmart's kind of a show. A shit show, but a show nonetheless. So NASA is trying to find these exoplanets that could have had alien life or could possibly still have life on it, judging by the possibility of it being polluted. Like, oh, we couldn't figure it out. Like, we're destroying our planet. I'm sure others have too. Or they were smarter than we are, which is also a possibility. So that's what NASA is doing right now. Currently, as they hunt for exoplanets, part of their research is to look for some signs that some of the light reflected. But what that does is gives like the chemical makeup of the atmosphere and the color spectrum. They can say, oh, they got a lot of carbon up there. I bet they were polluting too. It's almost like we got to make ourselves feel better, right? Like, well, they're doing it too. They're doing it on ELX-1. They polluted their planet, so therefore, we're not so bad. We're not so bad. What else is going on? What else is happening in the world? There was another weird story out there about, see this one about the floating ship, the hovering ship? This is from BBC News. Go look this story up. Go look this story up because you need to see the imagery. And perhaps it's some sort of weird optical illusion. It looks like the pictures being either taken from shore or from perhaps another sea craft of some sort. But it most certainly appears like there is a large freighter floating a ways above the water. Here is a story from BBC News. Images of what appears to be a floating ship have been captured as a result of a weird optical illusion off the coast of England. David Morris took the photo of the ship while walking. BBC meteorologist David Brain said the supermirage occurs because of special atmospheric conditions that bend light. That guy is smarter than I am. He said the illusion is common in the Arctic, but very rarely happens in the UK during winter. The Mr. Brain, it's Braine, but I'm thinking it's Mr. Brain, the guy I just called super smart. He says superior images occur because of the weather condition known as temperature inversion, where cold air lies close to the sea with the warmer air above it. Since cold air is denser than warm air, it bends light towards the eyes of someone standing on the ground on the coast, changing how a distant object appears. You really need to go and see this picture. Again, Mr. Brain is much smarter than I am, but it looks like a damn ship is just hovering 20 feet above the ocean. It's not that far out. Excuse me. It's not that far out from shore. Super weird. Yeah, so look up floating ship. BBC News has the story, but I've seen it in other places as well. Apparently they're calling it an optical illusion. I don't know. There was a whole tie-in with the whole alien thing back when that Commander David Fravor story came out. That was the Pentagon story that was declassified off the West Coast with the Tic Tac alien craft that was spotted on radar. They had it on their scopes. They were following it. Went from like standing still to like 3 miles away in less than a second. No propulsion. But while they're investigating this, there was some weird thing happening under the water, like out in the deep. Some weird, I don't know. He couldn't explain it. There's theories about that too. There's theories that aliens have actually set up below sea level. Like they go into the ocean, they just plop down out of sight. Maybe doing some marine biology. Studying the smart animals. The ones in the ocean. Watch out for dolphins, E.T. They get frisky. Those dolphins get frisky. It's a weird photo though. Hovering ship. I would just Google hovering ship and you'll be able to see the image. More UFO stories. This one coming out of Las Vegas. And talk to my otherwise guys. They're out in Vegas. Story came out on Wednesday. from Fox 40 News in Las Vegas, Nevada. A truly mysterious series of lights were seen by people in the Las Vegas Valley earlier this week. The lights, as seen in several videos and photographs, appeared over Las Vegas around 7:30 p.m. Monday. People on different sides of the city reported seeing them. In the video pictures, you can clearly see 4 to 8 lights appear to be floating without much movement. Now they're starting to come in the metropolitan areas. Usually it's the alien stories that you hear, like Roswell's in the middle of nowhere. It's always guys out cutting trees, the Travis Walton story, middle of nowhere. Like, what's going on here? Now they're starting to come into major metropolitan areas. They're getting closer. Yeah, 8 lights. 8 lights appear for a few seconds. But she says in the recording, it looks like it was on fire. In other videos posted to Twitter, the person who recorded the video said it looked like the lights were over the Circa in downtown Las Vegas. Mystery Wire contacted the Circa and were told it had nothing to do with the lights in the sky. Over a dozen videos and photos taken in Las Vegas. Nellis Air Force Base is right on the right to the right of one of these views, on the other side of a large mountain. There have been several comments online that the lights are military flares from Nellis jets. No reply from Nellis Air Force Base as of yet. I don't know, man. Just seeing the images and the videos, like solar flares, don't they usually come down? There's some sort of gravity, like these are just like literally hovering over Vegas. Super weird. Somebody check on Brittany. I'm just saying. Somebody check on Britt. Let us know that she's okay. Freaky. A lot of alien stories, man. Weird stuff going on in the world. Weird stuff. But I guess maybe that's what we need to save us from all the other crazy shit that's happening. It's just weird stuff. It's a crazy politicizing, cancel culture stuff that's going on. It's enough to drive you batty. I scan through every day. And look at all the news stories from a bunch of different news outlets. Got to get a general view of things, and I find stories and I'll pull them up. It is overwhelming. The negative each way stories that are out there currently. This is all bad. It's all bad. It's very little good. And even the good is like based in some sort of bad, I was like, family with 8 children struggling to survive during pandemic. I'm like, I get it. It's a struggle. A lot of shit. It's very difficult. Why are you having 8 kids, man? Why are you doing that? Not even during a pandemic, just generally speaking, like 1's good. 2, I guess, balance. Like 3, you start to go, trying to set up a franchise or something. You building a team. I don't know, man. It's weird. Weird stuff. There was a story that came out from the story came from Huffington Post, a new report showing just how hard 2020 was on American kids. Pretty in-depth stuff. Story goes, again, from Huffington Post. How tough was 2020 on America's children? Pretty darn tough, says a comprehensive report from the nonprofit Save the Children that ranked the states where U.S. kids have been faring the best and the worst during the pandemic. New analysis, which relied on the U.S. Census Bureau household pulse surveys, found a significant disparities in how American children have been able to handle an incredibly hard year. And the authors did not mince words, saying America's kids are in trouble. The 4 big takeaways. Children going hungry. 1 in 4 kids hasn't had access to remote learning, and devastating impacts on families' emotional health. Haven't I been saying that? What's up, Ariel? Welcome. Welcome to the show. That's what I've been saying. Like, we weren't built to function this way, and a lot of places aren't functioning in a complete and total lockdown. It really depends on where you are. Like I said, Gregg Cash is coming up in about a half hour, and he's out in California. So I'm sure things are much different where he is to where I am, and maybe to where you are. My mom's in California. She's out walking right now. Walking and watching the show. Watch where you're walking first. You can always watch the show after it's done. The video lives forever. But I'm saying that, like, we're not, like, as a society, we're not meant to function this way during lockdowns and not being able to do things. Even here, where you have some schools that are doing, depending on the grade, 4 days a week, 2 days a week or less as the kids get older. But like, really, that elementary age kids around here, they're kind of going 4 days a week, the 1 day off to completely sanitize the building. Whatever. But even having that 1 day off, like, it's not how things function, Parents got to work, If you got unemployment benefits or PUA or anything else that was offered, like, that shit's run out. And if it hasn't, the state is so fucked up they can't figure out their own head from their ass at this point. So families are, like, legit struggling because they can't work, as much as they'd like to. Childcare is a pain in the ass to get. Like, we're not meant to function this way. It's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, I'm gonna get out. Kids go to school. Adults go to work, or if they're home, then they just, whatever, it can be adults. Clearly, it's going to have an impact. Yeah. And, if your kid's in sports or anything like that, that's been weird. Like, I think the high school football season, which is normally in the fall, obviously, like, they're having a weird semi-season here starting. It's either tonight or in the next couple of weeks. I think. There was spring football. Okay. It's weird. Some sports completely canceled. Some doing, trying to have a season, and games get canceled. There has been some light, at least here. I mean, the basketball tournaments were, being held. I think it was only family, maybe a couple of family members that could go. Just weird. But it's going to take a toll on mental health. I mean, it's going to take more of a toll on kids, and adults, I think, can handle more, but eventually adults get to a breaking point too. They're like, just fucking knock it off. Yes. Just realize that it's time to move to Texas. Texas is a bunch of Neanderthals doing their freedom stuff. The whole thing about the state of Texas is they're lifting the mask mandate, and they're allowing businesses to open at 100% capacity. Okay. That doesn't mean, if you are a staunch mask proponent, that you can still wear a mask, right? Yeah. So, okay. If you feel like you aren't safe going to a restaurant, you don't have to go to the restaurant. Okay. If a restaurant owner doesn't feel safe working at full cap, they can be at 50%, 25%, whatever they're comfortable with. They're saying you will have the option of being open 100%. You no longer have to wear a mask. Okay. You still can, but you don't have to. You're not being forced to comply. I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I like to see a live show. Bands want to go and play live shows. Guarantee you that. They're trying their best, trying to play these, smaller rooms, and even these small rooms are at a certain capacity. It's tough. It's tough to sustain that. Bands need to get paid. Employees of the venues need to get paid. How do they offset those costs? Well, maybe they raise ticket prices. Maybe they raise beer prices. You have to. A lot of these places are not going to be open. I was talking, several artists that I've had on the show talked about that. They're like, there's going to be a lot of venues that are just not options anymore. Some of the ones that are maybe run a little bit better, a little more organized, maybe a little more, in a better spot financially. Yeah, they'll weather the storm and they'll be able to open back up when it's time, or they're open now. A lot of those places not going to be open, man. Crazy. Stay home, sheeple, if you are afraid. Stay under a blanket. Stay under a blanket in your home. 2 masks, maybe 3, maybe 10. 10 masks. 10 masks is better. Just have like a big old cow nose or something like. Really can't hear what you're saying now. Those 10 masks sound. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, there's been an incredible effect on children. There's been an incredible effect on everybody because of this stuff. And not just because of the laws and governing bodies and the innate fear of getting sick or somebody you love getting sick. But the divide, man, the divide is strong. People drawing lines in the sand. It's weird. Yeah. And they get more time to play on the internet, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. Some people just have bad opinions. It's really that simple. Like, if the facts don't back up your feelings, then sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm sure that everybody in here has ordered something from Amazon before. More than likely. Yeah? Probably have the Amazon app in your phone. If you've been on it recently, notice that the app logo has changed. Like, sometimes people do that. Instagram did that. Instagram, like a while ago, gave you like a choice to have like a bunch of different icons. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Then I forgot what it was. I'm like, where's the Insta? Man, where'd it go? Can't find it. I always know where Amazon was, though. Always knew. But Amazon has updated its logo for the app on your phone because some observers said it resembled the toothbrush mustache associated with Hitler. What? Like, I read the story, I said, what? And clearly the person who tweeted about it, one of the people who tweeted about it, has his Twitter profile picture in a mask because that's cool. It's not. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not who you are. Don't do that. So they changed the logo because it was the square box, looks like an Amazon box with the little smiley face arrow thing on it, but then it had like what an intelligent person's brain is packing tape. And I have my own business. I sell beard oil out of another room down here in the basement. I know what packing tape looks like when you rip it off. It's not a smooth edge. It's like, so it's clearly identifiable as blue packing tape, much like you would see in an Amazon package. Okay. Several, is that the word they use? Some observers made this note that because you have kind of a smiley face thing with packing tape on the top, it looks like Hitler's mustache. Wow. Like, I don't have a lot of free time, but somebody has a lot of free time to really analyze like all the pictures of the apps on their phone. They're like, you know what this reminds me of? So anyway, Amazon went and changed their logo. So now it's a square piece of packing tape, no edge to resemble a mustache. And then the side flipped over so you know that it's packing tape. Got a lot of free time, man. A lot of free time. I don't know, Joe. I don't have the answers. Jim Lucas, chip magnet salsa in the house. Need more of that wax. Yeah, you do. You know where to find me, brother? You know where to find me? Find me on the... Well, you know where I am. You know where to find me. But yeah, it's just odd. It's like, it's odd that people have enough time and can raise enough of a stir that Amazon's like, yeah, we're going to change our logo. Because 6 people thought, that piece of packing tape looks like the old Hitler mustache. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's blue. First off, it's blue, like baby blue. But I'm glad we got that cleared up. Maybe you're able to make that happen, Jim. I'll get a hold of you. I like lunch beers. Sometimes lunch beers lead into happy hour. It's like time travel happens. Like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. What happened? Now, speaking of that, it's Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Gregg Cash is coming up. Gregg Cash. Dude is, like I said yesterday on the show, like, I met Gregg and he walked into my old radio studio. He walked in and we did some interviews and dude just like lights up a room. I'm like, this dude is awesome. I don't even know if he spoke yet. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to be buds, man. And we are. Joe's got the cheers up. There we go. Friday, crack them open. Why not? It's a weekend. But it's nice here, though. That's the thing. Like, it's a nice weekend. Like, ridiculous. For Wisconsin in early March, like 10 degrees above average. We're in like the 40s, 45 right now. They're supposed to be 60s on Tuesday. I had the Otherwise guys on a couple weeks ago, and they're worried about April. And again, it could all go to shit real quick, so I better knock on the desk here. But like record high temps possible on Tuesday. Highs in the 60s. We're enjoying it though, man. Getting out, cracking the windows. Of course, the only thing that sucks about springtime in Wisconsin is like it looks like gross all over the place. It's just gross everywhere. It's not like pretty spring. It's like salt and dirt and in the morning, it's still like all the things that melt over the course of the day. In the morning, it's all ice. As somebody who runs in the morning, I'm like fucking laser eyes. Like, that was water yesterday. Today, it's not. Joe says it's still gonna. Oh yeah, it's gonna snow more. This is first spring or fake spring. Not every year we get a fake spring, but this is a fake spring. This is you get, and it's been extensive. It's been almost a week. We've been in the 40s and some, I think we saw 50 one of those days, didn't we? And you get that 60. And maybe and it starts to tail off a little bit. You're going to get jammed like one more time, just going to get pounded by a freaking snowstorm, you know? Just be nice on St. Patty's. That's all I care about. Like just 18th, it can do whatever. But man, give me a nice St. Patty's. Because it was last year on St. Patty's in Wisconsin when they shut it down. 15 days to flatten the curve. March 17th, 2020. It's a long 15 days, man. It's a long 15 days. I remember I went out and there's this place we always go to get corned beef and cabbage. And they had implemented like some restrictions before that. They had started doing like, separated seating. They took some tables out. The bar stools were 6 feet apart, like individual bar stools. Like if you came there with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kid, whatever, like you'd have to sit 6 feet away from them. And there was like one table. So like we went in and got corned beef and cabbage and came home and 10 o'clock tonight, bars are closed, shutting it down. Like, wow, that escalated quickly. Yeah. It was no good, man. It's no good. So get out, enjoy St. Patty's this year, man. I'm going to try. We can in Wisconsin, man. It's all right. It's almost free. Almost freedom. Not 100% though. Man, we used to have some crazy St. Patrick's Days. Packed places. Dropkick Murphy's always playing real loud. I'd have the Touch Tunes app, just kiss me, I'm shit face one more time. Kiss me, I'm shit face one more time. People getting mad. It's good times though. Good times. Hopefully again, it's been crazy though on the show, being able to talk to people from all over the country and even Canada. We had Brandon Z on yesterday outside of Toronto. And Toronto's like in pockets, it's not like a state thing, or it's like, the city of Toronto is one way, but then like where he is just outside of Toronto is a different way. It's crazy. But he's fine. He's like, whatever. I can write, I can make music and smoke pot. It's all good. He's fine. He's happy. He's in a good spot. You talk to people out in California and people in New York. It's crazy. New York still, man. It's weird. It's just weird, right? Yeah. I had that whole Brewers no tailgating rant yesterday, and it's just like, come on now. At least have some consistency, Don't be like all over the board. Yeah. They don't care. Whatever. What can you do, man? What can you do? This is wild. We'll do this and we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get to my buddy Gregg Cash. This comes from the New York Post. A Spanish rapper accused of hacking off his roommate's genitalia with a 12-inch kitchen knife as part of a gruesome attempt to get attention on social media. What? Aaron Beltran allegedly made a deal with Andrew Breach, an Oxford-educated British teacher, to amputate his manhood, with Breach agreeing to pay a fee depending on how many times the video was shared on YouTube. What? Jim's got it right. Wait, what? The payout ranged from $240. The range was $240 to a maximum of $3,000, according to the report. Wait, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, hey, I get like there's a wave of things like hell, I would like to have a bunch of views on YouTube and on Twitch and whatever. But you got to draw the line. And chances are YouTube's going to take that stuff down. That probably violates some sort of policy, I would imagine. Right? Yeah, it's right about there. It's right about $3,000, Jim. $2,500. I don't know. That's wild. Beltran now faces 4.5 years behind bars if convicted of carrying out the grisly act. Like, how do you agree to something like that? Like, as the one with the knife. So it's the one with the knife that was not, this wasn't his idea. It was the other guy who's like, hey, dude, here's a knife. I want you to slice it off. But if it makes a bunch of money on YouTube, I'll pay you. The guy with the knife's got to be like, huh? Wait, what? Just say no, man. Lorena Bobbitt, I don't know. Did she get any? I thought she got off because it was like in fear and something like that. Remember that every human remembers that case. Well, every man especially, that Lorena Bobbitt case, man. And then like the dude went on and did like porn, which is weird. I didn't see it, but it's weird. Who have I been listening to at the moment? Who? Like bands? I don't know. I've been jamming to that new Architects album. Is pretty awesome. I was listening to that this morning on my run. That's pretty sick. The new Yellow Wolf and Katsky. That's hot. I'm a fan. I was listening to Brandon Z. We had him on the other day. I had him on yesterday. His new jam, Set This House on Fire. Another great one. So a lot of stuff. That's a great thing about not being conformed to like a format, a musical format, is like I can listen to whatever the hell I want to. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, oh, I'm in this kind of mood today. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, jam to that. My buddy Shallow Side, they got a new song out too. A lot of good stuff. All right, we're going to take a short break. Yeah. Thanks for watching on the Twitch too. T-Subai. I don't want to screw that up. Like the comments are really small right over here. So I'm kind of trying to, and I'm old. That could be part of it too. But we're going to take a short break. Make sure you hang out. Gregg Cash is coming up in less than 10 minutes. So stick around for that. Break and back. Cooperville Live returns shortly. And we're back. Cooperville Live on a Friday. Party's cranked up. Jim Lucas, if you're still on here, Lorena Obama got no time. None. 0 years. And probably made a lot of money on the tell-all book. So there you go. Probably made more than $3,000, which that guy is not going to collect on because he's probably going to be in prison. So, there's that. There's that whole thing. Sue Boy. There you go. Love it. Love it. Thank you all for tuning in on the show, wherever you're watching. Facebook Live, YouTube, and on the Twitch. I see my buddy Gregg Cash is in the green room. He is here.
Yes!
This motherfucker's here.
What's up, dude?
That beard, though. That beard.
Bro, I'm just trying to keep up with you, man.
Hey, you started it, man. I just follow in your footsteps.
Bro, I think somebody started this long before us, man. You know?
We're carrying on the tradition.
Absolutely, bro. It's been forever, dude.
I've been telling this story on the show the last couple of days leading up to you being on here, and I was like, the first time I met Gregg Cash, it was on tour with Dorothy. You guys took a break from, I think you were doing, I think it was a Hailstorm Lita Ford tour. And
shit. So 2015?
2015.
Yeah.
And
dude,
you guys came down to the studio, and y'all walked in and out, and you didn't even say anything. I'm like, me and that guy gonna be friends. I don't care what anybody fucking says about it. I'm not gonna stop this train, man. But it's so good to see you, man. How you been?
Dude, it's been dude, obviously you probably hear this a lot. Pandemic's been weird, but it's actually been pretty dope, dude, Yeah,
you stay busy though. It's like, you're not sitting on your hands doing nothing. Like, you got projects, you're doing music. I mean, you're producing stuff. I mean, you and Dylan Howard are hanging out, like, taking the world.
It's like peanut butter and jelly, baby. It just never stops. Always a good time.
But that's been good because you're out in California, right?
Yeah, right out. I'm out in LA, dude. It is beautiful here right now too.
Yeah, of course it is. It's for Wisconsin, it's not so bad right now. It's like 45 and people are wearing shorts. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that shit's crazy, man.
But tell me about all the things you got going on. I know the Lungs just dropped a new album, and that shit's just ridiculous.
Bro, so dude, it's been wild time. So dude, the guys in the Lungs, which Dylan Howard, who was in Dorothy with me, and dude, him and I met Dylan back in 2005 on an audition, dude. So 16 years ago now, and him and I have basically always played with each other ever since. So him and his younger brother, who's the guitar player, singer of the Lungs. Lungs been going for a while, and Trev, the brother, hit me up, who's another close homie, and was like, dude, you down with second guitar? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do this. Why the fuck not? And that was right before pandemic hit, and then once pandemic hit, it was like, dude, we've been writing a bunch of stuff, and, we just did a live stream. We just dropped a VHS for the live stream, bro. Dude, that's dope, dude. Man. Yeah, dude. So we did the whole live recording thing, all that shit, streamed it, knotfest.com, hooked us up big with it. And yeah, dude, and we did a limited run of VHS that were fucking, dude, they're almost sold out. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, I want to know how that conversation starts. You're hanging out with the guys and you're like this live thing, we should do, somebody has to say VHS and everybody goes, what?
Bro, so when we were talking about it, Trev actually was like, yo, dude, we got to put this shit on VHS. I was like, come on, man. And then I came up with the idea. It was like, we should go to Goodwill or something, wipe out a bunch of dollar tapes and manually because I have a VCR and Bill, our bass player, has a VCR. And I was like, let's just set them up and copyright over fucking, not copyright, we'll write over the tape. Independence Day and shit, and then just put a lung sticker on that, and then we ended up getting it pro done, and dude, it looks sick as fuck, man.
That's awesome, man. I mean, what a just creative, new. It's just, I love it. I saw the
man. You know what I mean? Dude, Trev loves getting fucking cassette tapes and putting shit out on cassette tape and all that stuff too.
That's bringing it back.
Way back, man. And dude, we just got the tapes in and we got to watch that, dude, 2 nights ago. Bro, it looks fucking awesome, bro. It looks like shit. You know what I mean? You're like, you remember being a fucking kid and watching a VHS and dude, you're just sitting there and you're like, man, this is so dope. And you look at it now and you're like, we had no idea what we were missing out on. But there's something really nostalgic and cool about it too,
Yeah, I like it. It's when you listen to vinyl and it doesn't have that super crisp, wave file sound. It's all compressed and there's a bunch of weird low and mid in it and all that shit, dude. But see, I love listening to records. Love it. No, I think it's so cool to see these things coming back into, because it's a challenge. I mean, I'm sure that you've moved and you've had that VHS player and you're
I've been carrying around boxes of VHS for years. I still have them, man. Because I used to work, because I'm originally from Philadelphia, and when I was in my teens, I worked at a video store, and dude, I got all these weird ass horror movies that you could probably find online now and shit. But I've got all these weird, obscure B horror movies on tape, Yeah. And it's dude, I'll never get rid of that shit. And I got a VCR too, man. Sometimes I'll knock back a couple drinks and watch some fucking shitty movie, dude, You
you have to manually get up and rewind it after you're done, man, this is ridiculous.
Be kind, please rewind, man.
That's what kept Blockbuster in business for so long.
Bro, yes, absolutely. I was one of those dudes with the fucking, we had the tape rewinders and we'd get the shit back in and nobody rewinded, bam, slam down, dude.
Oh, dude, I think it's such a great concept, and I think a really unique way to brand the project. To kind of be like, hey, we're doing unique stuff, and then everybody now has to go to a secondhand store and try to find.
You get one for $9, bro. We were actually talking about is maybe doing taking a couple of what we have left and going and getting like an old VCR and getting like the HDMI converter and doing like a whole kit and like having some of the dudes in the band, like, because it's not myself personally, but some of the other guys are far more artistic and like fucking doing like a crazy thing on a VCR and just doing like a little package deal just for fucking shits and giggles, man, you know?
Great, man. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
cool. So,
you know, being creative, man, give people an experience, you know, beyond just like, cool, here's some fucking tunes, some dudes that sound really pissed off, you know?
But look, they're creative. They're creative and pissed at the same time.
Exactly, man. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, it's like there's a couple layers to that onion, baby, you know?
You gotta peel it back. You gotta peel back the layers, man.
Yes,
Look
dude.
at this shit. So I want to take you back to growing up in Philadelphia, man. Like where does I mean that's tough, man. That's tough. Yeah, that's where you know tough ass motherfuckers come from Philly, man. They don't mess
I'm
around,
soft
man.
now, bro. You know, my boys see me now, and we're all old anyway. I mean, we're not old, but we're older. And
Right.
dude, I'm soft now, man. Dude, I live in LA and shit, dude.
Right,
It's like,
yeah,
you know, but Philly put some hair in your chest. You know what I mean? And like being in that music scene in the early 2000s was, you know, it was fucking awesome. I learned a lot, and got to spend a lot of time in New York. You know, like I was in a band and we were showcasing, and you know, it was like I got to play CBGBs a bunch of times. Shit like that, like, you know, experiences that not, you know, a lot of people have had, but not everybody's had, you know, and that was rad. I mean, CB's was a shithole, dude. It was a fucking terrible venue with the grossest bathroom that you've ever been in. You know what I mean? It was a punk rock bar, you know? I mean, it lost some of its luster because it became like a pay-to-play thing, like the Whiskey A Go-Go and all these places here where it's like, cool, you want your band to play, you got to fucking sell tickets, but was still CB's, man. Like, so much history, man, and what a fucking vibe in that place. So, you know, having that experience, and Philly, you know, Philly's a rough place, man, you know? You know, give you a little, dude, when I first moved to LA, I was a lot. I'm still a lot, man, and I've been out here 16 years now, and I'm still a lot. But man, early 20s, straight off the boat from Philly and LA, dude, I was fucking obnoxious.
but the sunshine, it's all that vitamin D, man. It softens you up, you know, it makes you all like, you're fucking smiling all the time and shit.
Bro, you know, it's like I'm not into like all organic stuff yet, but you know, as you slowly start doing it, man, you slow down. That was the biggest thing for me. I was like, man, everybody's like, I'm used to everybody being like this, and then you get out here and it's like, well, you know, like, it's cool, yeah, we'll do that later. And I'm like, no, let's do that now. No, man, it's all good, dude. Just relax. And I'm like, fucking tell me to relax. Dude, you know? And now I'm like, dude, I'm on Easy Street. I'm like, yeah, dude, you know, whatever, man. That's fucking cool. Yeah, we'll do it later. It's all good.
I've noticed that, you know, just, you know, in my travels and stuff, and even in Wisconsin, we feel like it's fairly fast paced. But I've, you know, traveled down south. I had a buddy when I was in radio, my early radio career. I traveled down to see him down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I bought a 12-pack of beer. It took me 45 minutes to get through the checkout lane because they're just like, hey, like, where are you from? Like, let's.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? How's your day going? Like, they really want to know how your day's going.
They're really concerned. Like, so, like, what are you gonna do? Like, is this your first time here? Have you been here, like 13 Well, you know, my cousin lives like right across. I'm like,
yeah,
great.
You're like,
sure,
dude, cool. Can I buy this 12-pack, please? You know,
really thirsty. I'm from Wisconsin. Like, if this isn't like in our DNA, like it needs to be like, I'm about to go IV on this shit. Like, we got to get rolling here.
Dude, I mean, dude, I played with a Scotty boy for like a year and a half, man.
Yeah, we don't mess around, man.
No, dude, that was real deal, man. And dude, Jared could slam some beers back too. That was a good time, man.
Well, you know, we keep ourselves. We got to keep hardy up here because it gets so fucking cold all the time. We got to.
Absolutely. Bro, you need to put some skin on your bones for that cold, man. Shit, dude.
You're just all that running. And every day I'm just out running. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I'm not even running for like, I'm like not training for a marathon or I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go run.
That's great, man.
Run the crazy out a little bit. And
dude, I got like, cause you know, obviously pandemic hit and I'm not like a gym guy. Like, dude, I'm not buff or anything, but I like to go to the gym and keep myself in shape, you know, especially playing shows all the time and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Pandemic hit and it was like, no shows, no nothing. And you're like, oh, cool, man. Just knock that. Way too many beers. And then you start to get that gut. You're like, fuck, man, I got these like this little stair stepper thing and some adjustable weights, and dude, just get my prison workout on, dude, on my patio.
Right.
You know? People are, like, walking down the street right here, like I'm on a side street, and I'm on the top floor, and I've got like a decent sized balcony. So, dude, I go out there, you know, most of the time, because even when it's cold, it ain't that fucking cold, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Summertime, I got my shirt off and shit, and I'm not like 6-pack with my shirt off. It's like I drank a 6-pack. You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna lift until I have another 6-pack later on this evening.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like it's more like preventative maintenance. It's like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna maintain this right now, man. You know?
Dude, I was just kind of going through off the top of my head, like the bands that you've been a part of and had a chance. And I know there's like a ton more. I mean, you talked about stuff you were in Philadelphia, but you know, Lungs, and you know, you did the thing with Josh Todd and Dorothy and Jared James Nichols and
JJN, man. That was dude, like, well, I'll hit on all of them, dude. For Jared, what a fucking ripping time, and like an incredible human being, man. Like, I had such a blast playing with that guy. I like musically playing with a dude like that. Like, he pushes you to be the best player that you can be too. You know what I mean? Because you're like, dude, you just got to fucking hang with the guy. The guy's in another dimension, man. We had some ripping times, and you know, I got to spend a bunch of time overseas, which who doesn't fucking love that? And dude, we never played the same set. And it was a free for all. Like, dude, half the time, I mean, obviously there was a group of songs that we were picking from the originals, but dude, he'd start throwing like Weird Albert King tunes that I haven't listened to in fucking 20 years. It'd be like, yeah, man, cool, we're going into this. And you're like, key. It's like, all right, cool, done, let's go, you know?
Let's do it.
We were talking about Hendrix' Band of Gypsies, dude. And then that night, go like, man, the Band of Gypsies is better than the Experience. You know what I mean? We were going and we were rapping about it, and Billy Cox on bass and shit. And then, dude, he was just like, dude, he started trying to like pull some shit on me, man. He started pulling Band of Gypsies tunes out, and I was like, I got all this, bro, all day, you know?
Nailing it.
But that's the thing, like, as a musician, man, you know, you catch yourself in most situations where you've got the same set, you know, you've got a whole show built, and that was like, we were flying by the seat of our pants, man, and that was fucking fun, dude.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, man. It was so dope, dude. And obviously a ripping guitar player. And, dude, Josh and Stevie with the Conflict, man. Yeah. Bro, those guys, I have a lot of touring experience and, like, you know, done a lot. Those guys took me to another level, you know? And they really took care of me. You know what I mean? Like those dudes have got, fuck, man, like a decade plus on me on touring, you know? And, you know, I saw Buck Cherry when I was like 14, you know what I mean? Right. And in my 30s, I'm in a fucking band with these dudes, and dude, they're fucking rippers, man. I remember the first show. So I was out on the road with Dorothy, and I was talking with Stevie, and they were putting together the Conflict thing, and like they were working on some tunes in the studio and stuff. And it was like, all right, cool. Well, I'm finishing up tour on this date. I'll cruise home. He's like, cool. Can you cruise in the studio the next day? And I'm like, fuck yeah, obviously go in, track some shit. The connection was instant, and, you know, the rest was history. So our first gig was at the Viper Room, right? We had done, you know, we threw like probably like 2 or 3 rehearsals together or whatever. And we did the show, and like, you know, we had rehearsed, and like Josh does his thing at rehearsal, and it's cool. Dude, the second we got on that stage, man, like, and we started playing, dude, I looked over, and it was like a completely different human being was on that stage when Josh started going. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this, man? I'm like, you know what I mean? I'll just never be as good of a performer, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
I don't know, like, man. I've seen you do your shit, man. That's a special thing.
Dude, those guys though, man, they really took care of me. And dude, you know, still friends, still talk all the time. And you know, you get grateful for these experiences that you get to have, and getting to play with players at like such a high caliber. You know what I mean? Like everybody, you know, majority of the people I've worked with have all been in another dimension musically, man. And like, I'm super grateful for that, man, because I played in a lot of bands before that weren't, you know?
Respect. Yeah. Respect.
You got to go through it, man. You know what I mean? You got to go through the shit sometimes, man, you know?
No, I think that it's super cool though to be able to have all of the experiences. You know what I mean? It's not like one path, one journey. I mean, you're just soaking it all in. You're like,
it's like ADD musically, man. Like, and I yet again playing guitar with my boys in the lungs was like, shit, yeah, I'll take on second guitar. And then I started learning the tunes, and I was like, I knew the songs were hard, but it was like, dude, it ripped my dick off learning those tunes, man. It took me like, and you know, I'm like used to like, oh, cool, here's a gig, and you know, I play bass, and I'm like, oh, cool, I can get it together quickly and do my thing, and then like, let's just fucking totally derail everything and throw a guitar in your hands, and then be given an extremely hard songs to play extremely fast, you know? And we were doing like a 30-minute set, so that was like 15 songs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. It was intense, bro.
Just sweating.
Dude, sweating, playing at like obnoxiously fast levels and screaming your dick off on top of all of it. You know what I mean? What's better though, man? It's like the most like primal shit that you could think of, dude. And then times it by 3. Like that's what it is, dude.
To get off the stage, are you fucking like done? Like,
yeah, dude, I did 2 shows. Well, the live stream would be 3. So I've only done 3 shows because I joined last December. Right. So it's been a little over a year, but you know, much as you know with this year, dude, it's like
nothing.
No shows, man, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I'm ready for the world to open up though.
I know, man. There's places. That's the weird thing. You know, I know you're not one of them, but there's places. I had a couple of guys on just throughout the course of the week, you know, when Texas opened back up, and they were like, yeah, fuck, every place in Texas is going to be booked for the whole year. I mean,
absolutely
fucking booked.
Absolutely, man. I had some buddies that were just out on the road in Florida.
Yeah.
Doing shows. I was like, dude, like nothing. I'm like, this is fucking nuts. Because yet again, I'm in California. Like, we don't have indoor dining yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can go out. You can, like, there's outdoor patios and shit. And, you know, and then you obviously bitch when it's cold out because it's 55 degrees.
I was going to say, because it's 55. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking spoiled. You know, dude, Philly me is like, fucking hates me for that. It's like, you're being a pussy. You know?
You're from Philly. Remember winters in Philly? Wasn't great?
Dude, of course, man. It's like, dude, come on, get your head out your ass. But dude, after enough time, you just get you get used to it, man. Acclimated. But yeah, dude, that's I can't wait for it to like fully open up, man. You know, and I'm people are saying all kinds of shit, and I don't know what's really gonna stick. You know,
right. That's a challenge every day. Is that it's different. It's different where my mom lives up in Northern California, so I get I get my updates from her about what's going on, and you know, and then you know here we're kind of half. You know, we have rooms, but they're all capped. You know, and it's weird because you could probably line something up, like to get out of California, line something up, but like where the payoff comes in where you can only play to a room that's 25% cap. You know, nobody's making any money.
I was going to say, like, a promoter's going to lose his ass, so they're not going to take on the show. Right. The bar's going to have a quarter of the profits, and you're getting a quarter of the ticket sales. So none of these venues are going to be able to afford to pay an act's guarantee and to be able to make any money or even break even at this point. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't really seem like in a place that's going to be 25% or even 50% capacity, not that I haven't played 50% cap shows, not forced, you know what I mean? Or even 25% for that matter, you know? But those shows, the promoters always lose their ass, you know? So even more fitting of like, yeah, it's fucking tough, man, you know?
But it's been wild, I know, for a lot of artists, and especially when you're out, you know, out in California, even more so, because it's a hub out there, obviously, of talent and people who can't, you know, survive underneath 50 degrees temperatures. So,
absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
But it's cool that you've been able to. There's still things happening. You know, you're still keeping busy. You know, I had Joey on a while ago, and me and him
dude, that's my fucking boy, man. I love that guy.
We were trying to get hashtag Gregg Cash is my homeboy trending, and
dude, I didn't even know this. I saw you post that yesterday, and I was like, that's sick.
I had him on. You know, a friend of his, somebody reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to talk to this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'll have whatever." And then we started talking, and just like through osmosis,
Yeah.
somehow like you and DH came up, and I was like, "Dude," he's like, "Those motherfuckers." I'm like, "Yes, those motherfuckers." And so, like, and I had him back on, talking about just like on the first episode of the live show he was on, talking about big white lights and talking about all these other things that are going on. I'm like, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to get Gregg Cash is my homeboy, has to be trending on Insta. I'm not sure. It may have just been me and him, but
dude, that's enough of a trend for me to be fucking stoked. That's for damn sure, man.
So where did the Joey A thing come in? Like, where did you guys? Because I know it's been a minute.
Dylan and myself work a lot with the producer Jim Kaufman.
Mm.
And dude, Jim's become a very dear friend throughout the years, because Dylan and I, when we're in town, we do a lot of sessions and stuff like that. It keeps us busy, man. And I love that shit, man. I love working. I always want to be working, always want to be doing something, always cool to make some cheddar in the process and, work with great people. And Jim's a dude that like, I hold such high respect for because he likes to cut records the way records are meant to be cut. We track bass and drums live. You know what I mean? It's like there isn't all this editing and all this shit. It's like you get good players, you take the time to get the right tones going, you can make some really dope records, man. And that's how I met Joey, was within the first year of working with Jim, Dylan and I, that we met Joey, because Joey's been working with Jim forever. Or maybe like through Atlas Genius, I think is how we started working with Jim, something like that,
No, it's very cool. It was a weird connection because we didn't know it until we started talking, and I was like, I told Gregg Cash we were going to be friends when I first met him, and
dude, I love that, man. I fucking love that, dude. And REM, man, what a killer songwriter, sings his tits off, and dude, killer fucking guitar player, man.
Dude.
He'll fuck you up, dude, straight up.
Yeah, he was posting some shit on Instagram, like after we booked the interview, and I was like, I'm gonna check out, see what he's got going on, and and he's super fucking pretty. He's got that like.
I tell him all the time, he's incredibly attractive. You know what I mean?
Got that handsome boy look.
A little bit. I'm like, I can't, but I think about it sometimes. I can't. Sorry, Joey.
It's a back and forth, but
he's back and forth a little bit.
But I go on and checking out his Insta, and he's just on there just fucking killing it. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah. Very unassuming. You're like, oh, cool. Here's the pretty boy that can sing. And he's like, and like when we first started working, the songs were a bit more like alternative pop. You know what I mean? But dude, then he was like sitting there and starts like riffing, and I'm like, oh shit, like he's that guy. All right, like he does everything. You're like, all right, REM, I got you, dog.
It's great cat.
And a sweet human being. I mean, obviously, talking to him, like, dude, the guy is the nicest fucking dude.
Yeah, he's super genuine, super inspiring. I mean, dude, and again, kind of like you, he's like, he always wants to be working. He always wants to be working, producing or playing or putting together new projects. He's just after it.
Dude, there's nothing else to do, man. I don't really know how to do anything else, man.
Right.
I can piss and shit and, open a beer and then play music. Like, dude, that's basically it, bro. You're looking at it.
That's tough to put on a resume, or like, hey, here's the 5 things I'm good at.
Can you send me your resume? Gregg Cash. Eat, piss, shit, open beer, play music. You know what I mean? I feel like I should be like beating my chest while I say that too. Really,
it should come with sound effects like the Tarzan noises or something. That should happen. That should be a thing. Audiograms attached to resumes if you send them digitally.
Oh, dude, that's what needs to happen, dude. Let's develop it, bro. We'll make hundreds of dollars.
We will. We'll make enough to pay for the app. Maybe,
bro.
So, like, I know you're hopeful for stuff to open back up and to get back out. I know you just had the VH. I keep on trying to say DVD. I'm like, no. VH fucking S.
Yeah, the VHS drop. I'm stoked to get out and start touring, but whenever it happens, man. Like, dude, I've been writing a fuck ton, for people, with people, all that shit. We've been working, like, dude, we've got, with the Lungs, I think we've got like 32 or 33 new songs that we've written in the last 8 months. dude, it's insane. Everybody's just like, our group chat's like, yo, check out this tune, bam, bam. It's like, so, there's no shortage of creativity. And I mean, obviously I need to play a fucking show. I've never gone this long without playing a show since I started playing shows 80,000 years ago,
with Tarzan on the drums, man. It was wild.
It's wild. So, but yet again, there's plenty of shit going on, so at least you're distracted. But man, it's like, fucking Instagram or Snapchat or whatever sometimes flashes like memory from 3 years ago, memory from 2 years ago, memory from a year ago, and you're like, all right, open it up, and you're like, yeah, I was on the road then. You know what I mean? Like every memory was like me on the road. And I'm like, it's a very distant memory now, No,
it's weird because we're coming up on a year, and I was talking about this yesterday on the show. I was like, when you have those like 1 year things that pop up on, like you said, like memories on Facebook or on Instagram and stuff, like today or like for the next week is like the last week you'll have of shit that actually was probably cool.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Then everything else is going to be empty shelves from fucking grocery stores with no toilet paper.
No toilet paper. That'll be the start of it. Then it'll be like, 15 days to flatten the
curve. Like, 1 year ago today, empty fucking Charmin rack. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I remember.
How my life has changed. Before that, it was like, it's fucking, St. Patrick's Day and all the, fucking going to shows. And then it's like, wait, I took a picture of the fucking toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly, dude, right?
My life took a turn at some point. It's weird.
Man, I remember being in the store and like right when the lockdown happened, and it was like everybody was Wild West. So like, dude, I cruised up to like a grocery store like way far away because I heard they had toilet paper, and I wasn't even hoarding. I was just almost out of toilet paper. I was like, fuck, man, I got 2 rolls of TP left, man. I want to start using my hand. I ain't that Tarzan, bro, and dude, I remember going in there and like freaking out. And I was like, okay, cool. So I grabbed toilet paper and I'm like buying all this food and shit. I hate cooking, man. I'm terrible at cooking. I hate it. I just really like eating food. So so I'm like buying all this bullshit because everything's so picked over. And then like within a week, it was like, oh shit, man, Postmates is going. Fucking DoorDash is going. Uber Eats was like, man, I don't know why I freaked out on food, man. It's all right here.
It's that fight or flight, man. It's that reptilian brain just going, what do we need to survive? Toilet paper, because we're not quite still reptiles, but
and then it was like I didn't even like, because I don't like, I like going to the grocery store once a week and shit, and like finding some food. Like I'll get it like hot one night and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make a fucking brisket tonight or something. I'm gonna slow cook it, shit, whatever. And like that whole thing went away because it was like, fucking grab everything you can and fucking, and I'm like, I got all this like weird frozen chicken and shit because it was like, or chicken nuggets, dude. It was like, there wasn't like any meat. So I was like, well, fuck it, man. I'll grab chicken nuggets. And there was no shortage of chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, bro. So I like ate like I was 12 years old again, and it was fucking dope.
All the people with children must have forgot about their kids. They're like, the 2 most important things in a child's diet. Fuck them. Go get the brisket.
I mean, perfect for me though. It's like,
man,
dude, there was no shortage of chicken nuggets through the beginning of the pandemic, or at any point for that matter.
That's good. I'm glad you that helped you survive. The tough.
Brought it back, man. When was the last time you had chicken nuggets and mac and cheese?
Well, I have a child, so if he doesn't finish them, I'm usually like, let me try these. See if they're still as good as when I had them when I was a kid. They're not as good. They're not as good as when I was a kid.
Depends on how many beers you've had.
Yeah, that's true. All of a sudden, it's like, these are the best fucking chicken nuggets I've ever had.
That your sweet baby raisin, you're just like, this is the best shit.
So my kid comes out, he's like, Dad, what happened to my chicken nuggets? Like, that doesn't fucking matter what happened.
It doesn't matter.
Have some brisket and shut up. No, I'm kidding. That's not how I play. That's not what I do. I'm like, all right, let's go to McDonald's. That's fine. Jeez, fucking picky bastard.
I love that. I love that, man.
It's so fucking good to catch up with you. I'm glad that the great thing about you, I think, is that you have, Matt, you're the consummate worker that you are, is probably kept you sane during all of this, because you're like, even though all the shit sucks, you can't go and do a show, which I know you're fucking itching to do, but it's like, write, play, do new shit, fucking VHS to VHS.
I managed to be busier during the pandemic than before, because it was like all this time opened up and I was like, well, fuck it, man. I got Dylan in the studios working on some songs for myself. Like right when the whole thing was happening, I got Dylan in the studio, and I recorded drum tracks, and I was like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to sit here and work on a bunch of fucking music because guess what? The last time I've had this much time has been probably 15 years, So, the whole state of the world and everything is really terrible, but having that time allotted me to do things that I probably wouldn't have had time to do anytime. Awesome. Like because while I was working on that shit, it's tour season. I would have been out on the road.
Right. Instead,
I was just sitting in my fucking bedroom getting tweaked out on all kinds of crazy shit, man, having a fucking blast. I mean, it was obviously sad and sucked, but, like the balance of it, it ended up kind of working out to be better, man,
Yeah, when you talk about having, especially the time to write, how time can get crunched when if you're going through tour season, and you're just busy as fuck, and there's not time. Maybe get time writing shit on a bar napkin or something. You get a little,
Dude, you don't have time. Like I tried bringing like my rig out on the road, and like I had my recording set up, and bro, it never came out. It was like even on a day off, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go fucking hit the treadmill, and then let's go find some dinner. You know what I mean?
Let's go find some chicken nuggets somewhere. They got to have good ones around here. You know what I'm saying?
Let me find Scotty's finest chicken nuggets.
No, man, that's great though. I think that's what I think people should be doing. Is I know it sucks. And that you're missing. Everybody's missing on stuff. Obviously, circumstances are bouncing back here and there, but like. I have time. Let's figure. Like I had time. I'm like, I'm gonna start doing it every day. I still have a full-time fucking job. I said I'm gonna start doing a live show every single day of the week.
That's great, man. And it's dope, dude. And that's the thing. Like for a fair amount of people that I know, it did open up time for them to do things like write music. Like I've been working and recording forever, but like I've been fucking around in Pro Tools. But I learned a fuck ton this year, man. I was like. Watching all these videos on like, I'd never mixed a live drum kit before. It's like, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? And you're just there and it's like, I'm spending hours on YouTube, spending hours hitting up all my engineer friends like, dude, how do I do this? I can't figure this out. What the fuck do I do with these overheads? I can't get the hi-hat out of the snare mic. It sounds like dog shit. What do I do? And dude, that shit was like the ultimate time passer. And you come out and you just know more, man. And it's like, if you take the time, like you said, and what you're doing too, it's like you take the time and you use it for good, man. Like it only ends up helping. Like when the world opens up, man, like my trajectory is going to be different than it was before. And I think for the better, at least for me, for the better, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying it, And that was like, dude, just having that like eye-opening experience and to have the time to just fuck around, man,
Do some fuckery.
Yeah, all the fuckery, bro.
All the fuckery. All right, man. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get DH and you and Joey on here, and we're just gonna talk shit for an hour.
Bro, I was gonna say you're gonna need more than the 30 or 40 minutes if you're gonna put the three of us on.
We're just gonna talk shit,
dude. Absolutely. You let me know. I'll help put that together.
Dude, let's make it a thing. We'll give it a clever title, and we'll be like an hour of shit talk or an hour and whatever. We won't even set a time. We'll just let's just talk shit until we run out of shit to talk about.
Yes, dude.
Make it a thing.
I would love that, man.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that shit. But Greg, I want to say, it's great to see your face because fucking
you too, man.
You bring joy into like the room when you walked into that studio. I'm like, that motherfucker just brought a bunch of joy in here.
I mean, dude, it's fucking. It's human interactions, man. We're just a fucking couple dudes with fucking great beards,
right?
Talking about music, dude.
Just talking shit, and chicken nuggets, and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and toilet paper, and Tarzan. Shit, man. You got it all.
Wiping your ass with your hand because there's no toilet paper, which didn't happen. Gratefully.
Right. Yeah. Thankfully, that whole thing was a giant farce. That was not the end all be all of our existence in the beginning, which is weird. Like as human beings, like we're weird. Like we're like,
oh yeah,
get toilet paper. Like how much? No,
mass hysteria for toilet paper.
Yeah,
not for chicken nuggets though. I feel like I got the shittiest one-ply toilet paper, which I'm a super princess with that stuff. I'm like,
I hear you. I feel you.
Two-ply, I'm white, dude. It's the little things in life, man. Creature comforts. And it was like I got the shittiest toilet paper, but I was like, fuck yeah, man. It's all meat, chicken nuggets, let's go. I mean, barely meat. And then it was like, I still eat chicken nuggets, man. I got some in the freezer right now.
He's got to feed him, man. It's gonna go make some happen. We're weird as humans. We figure out the strangest things, like prioritize. Like, yeah, during this whole thing, we need to wipe our ass.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
it.
We need to wipe our ass. That's what we need. That's what we need. This is the biggest concern: wiping our asses right now.
Hey, priorities, I guess. We're not Neanderthals after all. Hey, Gregg Cash, my friend, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much for fucking being on the show and talking for the last 45 minutes or so. It's been great.
Great, man. Dude, let's keep up. I'll message you personally, dude. We gotta. I realize that I don't have your number, so we need to swap numbers properly. Yeah. Send each other pooping selfies and stuff like that.
Show me pictures of your 2-ply. Wait, what?
Yeah,
2-ply.
How hot is that?
Well, yeah, and we're gonna set it up with you and Dylan and Joey, and we're gonna have an hour or 2 hours of just shit talk and
bro, we could easily cover 2 hours, dude. This 30 or 40 minutes just flew like that. We could do 2 hours with the four of us. Absolutely.
Let's make it happen. Gregg Cash, my friend. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for all the inspiration. Thanks for kicking ass out there. Let's stay in touch, my friend.
Dude, sounds great, brother. Thank you for having me on, man.
Gregg Cash right there on Cooperville Live. What a fucking that. See, don't you feel better about life right now? I feel fucking better about life. Thanks to Gregg Cash. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Glad to have him on, and we're gonna make that happen. Greg and I, Joey, Dylan Howard, on the show. 2 hours. We'll get like a 6-pack each. Well, maybe 12-pack. We'll see. I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm gonna at least 12 to make it functional towards the end there. But this is great. A couple of comments here. Joe, yeah, Gregg's fantastic. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube or on the Twitch. We appreciate all of the love as we get set to wrap up the show here. Next week, we got a big week, a huge week. And we'll try to set that thing up for next Friday. It feels like that should be a Friday thing, don't you think? I think that's a Friday show. Yeah, we're going to make that happen. Next Friday, we'll get all those guys together and do some shit. But next week, starting off the week, it's going to be awesome. We have country artist Warren Garrett on and country artist Brian Callahan on, both on Monday, starting at 5 o'clock Central. I will have all the information, of course, to our Patreon fans. You already know about that. But also, if you follow us on the social medias, whether that's on the Facebook page or at No Limit Cooper or Cooperville Live on Instagram, you'll know all the stuff we got coming up next week. Paranormal expert Chad Lewis is going to be on. George Dukas. We're going to spend an hour with George Dukas coming up next week, and we have a bunch more guests. It's going to be so fantastic. So thank you for tuning in. Another week in the books of Cooperville Live. I appreciate you. Have yourselves a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. Get the piece in there. Get the piece in there. Where is it? There it is.